They smiled, they joked, and then it all went horribly wrong. One bad sentence, one awkward reaction. When fame meets live cameras, not everything goes as planned. You saw part 1, and now we're back with even more jaw-dropping moments that left celebs red-faced in front of millions. Let's take a look at celebrities' most embarrassing moments caught on camera, part 2. 1. Raven Simone's geography slip goes viral. She spoke with full confidence, looking serious and thoughtful, but what she said had everyone confused within seconds. She kept going, doubling down on what she just said, still with a straight face, no hint that she realized the mistake. 2. The crown that shouldn't have landed. Steve Harvey stood with the final results in hand, but one name changed everything. He calls out Colombia, and the crowd erupts. Miss Colombia bursts into tears and hugs Miss Philippines, believing her dream just came true. Crowned and smiling, Miss Colombia starts her walk, waving with joy as the music plays behind her. But something feels off. Suddenly, Steve Harvey walks back on stage. His face says it all, and the music just stops. 3. When awkward turns into applause. This moment had the audience stunned at first, but Will Ferrell, being who he is, kept it smooth without missing a beat. He smiled, raised the trophy again like nothing happened, and even gave her a quick shout-out like it was all part of the plan.
Was then kicked off the studio lot where the live show was shot.
Aubrey Plaza, everyone.
Meanwhile, Aubrey had already made her way back to her seat. The cameras caught her looking down, then up again with a tiny smile. Jessica Lange ignores Lea Michele at the American Horror Story. The American Horror Story freak show red carpet was packed with cameras and stars. All eyes were on Lea Michele. She walked in looking stunning in a velvet dress, posing confidently, Jessica Lange. Jessica just walked by quickly and put Lea in her place and proved she wasn't shit. Back then Lea kept smiling, not noticing the ignorance, and kept smiling. 5 judges lose it on live TV and regret it. During Joe Irvine's performance on X Factor New Zealand, no one expected the judges to turn on him like this. Right after his song, Natalia started talking with a cold tone.
As an artist who respects...
And then it got worse. Willie Moon jumped in, making a weird comment that left everyone stunned.
It's like Norman Bates dressing up in his mother's clothing. It's just a little bit creepy, and I feel like you're gonna stitch someone's...
She cried over a sloth on national TV. Kristen was lying in bed, fully in tears, and Dax was just trying to keep the camera steady.
Oh no. I wasn't joking. I was absolutely...
She hadn't even seen the sloth yet, but she was already losing it. Her crying turns into laughing, then back to crying again. The audience couldn't stop laughing either. Jerry Seinfeld refuses a hug on live camera. While answering a simple question, Jerry was suddenly approached by a very excited Keisha. Her smile was big, her energy even bigger. But Jerry wasn't ready for what came next. Keisha walked off looking embarrassed. Meanwhile, Jerry burst into loud laughter, not even knowing who she was. 8. Patrick Stewart roasts James Corden. On stage, Sir Patrick Stewart stepped up to the mic and took aim at James Corden. He pointed out how James was standing, calling him out in front of everyone. James didn't take it lightly. He stepped forward face to face with Stewart and gave a loud response that had the whole room buzzing. Naomi Watts walks out mid-interview. Naomi suddenly stopped mid-interview. She looked off camera, said something about being told to wrap up, and politely tried to end it. The interviewer looked confused. He said they still had time and kept asking questions, but Naomi stood up and began walking out. 10. Courtroom chaos. Jussie Smollett's outburst shocks. Everyone with a serious tone, he calmly said something no one saw coming. His face was tense and his eyes locked on the bench. Then he stood up, raised his voice, and pointed while speaking with emotion. You could see the tension rise in the courtroom. 11. Kelly Osbourne's comment shakes up the view. As she leaned in, her voice steady, She tried to make a point, but the way she said it made the entire table freeze. Rosie's face said it all. Her eyes widened and she leaned back, clearly stunned by what she just heard.
12. When poetry turned into pure confusion. It started like a calm, jazzy performance.
A woman stands beside a man playing the upright bass, confidently reciting what sounds like deep poetry. But just a few seconds in, things take a strange turn. Her voice gets louder, her hands more dramatic, and the words, they sound made up and completely random. By the end, she leans in with a serious face and says something that only made the awkwardness worse. 13. Ashley's lip sync fail on live TV. It was supposed to be another smooth performance on Saturday Night Live, but what happened next turned into one of the most awkward live moments ever. Ashley Simpson had just been introduced by Jude Law when things took a strange turn on stage. As the band kicked off the second song, everyone was expecting autobiography. But instead, her earlier vocals from Pieces of Me suddenly played. Loud and clear. Ashley stood still, mic down, her face frozen in shock. In total panic, she broke into an awkward little dance, trying to cover the mistake. The band stopped, confused. She looked around, unsure what to do next. Finally, she walked off stage, defeated, while her band stood frozen, unsure whether to follow or stay. It was silence, but the embarrassment was loud. Justin Bieber's Mop Bucket Mayhem. It was one of those clips where you watch with your hand over your face. Caught by a friend's phone camera, Justin Bieber decided a mop bucket in a staff hallway was good enough for a bathroom break. As he casually faced the bucket, his friend stood nearby hyping him up like it was something impressive. A man in a suit watched from a nearby stairwell, half smiling, clearly unsure how to react. They called themselves the Wild Kids, laughing and yelling like it was a party. But it didn't stop there. He grabbed a spray bottle, walked up to a framed photo of Bill Clinton, and sprayed it before yelling something totally unnecessary. Jennifer Lawrence's rock-scratching confession. It started off as a casual chat on the Graham Norton show, but quickly turned into one of Jennifer Lawrence's most awkward stories ever. Sitting between Chris Pratt and Jamie Oliver, she suddenly looked nervous when Graham brought up Hawaii. She joked about scratching herself on sacred rocks during filming, while the guys next to her burst into loud laughter. And then she admitted one of those rocks rolled down the hill, almost crushing their sound guy. 16. Jason Momoa's joke. That went way too far. During a Comic-Con panel, Jason Momoa made a comment that instantly changed the room's vibe. He was talking casually about what he liked in fantasy roles, then suddenly dropped a line that no one expected, not even his co-stars. The moment he said it, Emilia Clarke buried her face in her hands, clearly embarrassed. Others on the panel looked stunned or nervously laughed. Jason leaned back, shrugged with a grin, like he knew he messed up, but tried to play it off. A theater moment that got awkward real fast. Right as things got intense, a woman suddenly stepped in front of them, trying to reach her seat. Both men paused and gave her space, clearly caught off guard. Once she passed, Neil jumped right back into his thought, still sounding frustrated. His face showed he wasn't joking around. Ryan Seacrest's high-five slip on live TV. After Scott got his 4 yeses, everyone was excited. Ryan was so pumped he went in for a high five, but missed the mark without realizing Scott couldn't see it. But Ryan handled it fast. Scott caught on too, and they finished the moment with a proper high five and a smile. 19 tears, tremble, and total stage freeze. When Gwyneth Paltrow stepped on stage to accept her Oscar, things quickly turned from elegant to emotional. Her voice cracked before she even got through the first sentence. The camera panned to her mom, who looked like she didn't know whether to smile or run up there and hug her. 20 Demi Lovato's out-of-this-world interview moment. Demi Lovato was asked a simple question about a rumored song title, but things quickly took a strange turn. She looked calm at first, but quickly shut that down, correcting the host with a serious face and firm voice. Then, just when it seemed like a light moment, she raised her tone and made it clear why she doesn't use the word at all. Even the biggest stars can't escape an awkward moment. Tap subscribe so you don't miss what we've got coming next, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What moment made you cringe the most?